Hey everyone, Josh here from Visto for another update, an exciting one today, because we finally have something really cool to show you. Now, I want to preface this by saying it's not totally done yet, but as is the purpose of this vlog, is to keep you updated as we're making improvements, adjustments, testing, putting final, finishing touches on, and getting your feedback if you have any, so that when we're ready to go, we give it the best chance possible. So again, I want to make the caveat here. It's not totally finished. I've been playing around and testing it this week, giving feedback to our developers. We're making some last improvements, but I want to give you a quick tutorial, maybe not a tutorial, just a quick highlight of kind of what we can do here. So really quickly, I'll show you the super basics, right? Number one is create clients, pretty straightforward. One of the big problems we're trying to tackle early on is, sure, some of the products that are out there right now allow you to generate forms and calculate stuff, but it doesn't help with even before, which is the intake. How do you gather all that information and all those documents from your clients? So what you can do here is just click add a client, right? I'm just going to say Sally May, doesn't really matter, sally@gmail.com, and I'm going to create a client. And then you can see you can kind of manage your clients here, right? You can have active, you can have pending, et cetera, et cetera. And then what you can do is you can create matters, obviously, for those clients. So I'm going to create a new matter. I'm going to do it for Sally. And then importantly here, you can select the different court forms. Now, why is this important? This is important because, number one, we're going to auto-generate questionnaires that you can then invite your client to and use AI to help fill out. And then obviously down the road, auto-generate those forms as well. So let's say it's a new matter, you need a form, well, you probably wouldn't need a form 4 for a new matter, but I don't know, I'm just going to click some random stuff, right? Like a general form 8, maybe you need a form 13, maybe you need a 35-1, right? Again, I'm just clicking kind of random stuff here. We're going to start with the basic forms and we're going to add them slowly, add more and more functionality over time. Now, what you're going to be able to do is, again, I'm just showing you what we've got so far, is you're going to be able to then invite your client so that they can come in. You have this progress tracker of kind of what they're working on, and you and they can start working on getting these forms filled out and uploading documents, right? So you might want to collect their NOAs and their T1s and their, pay stubs, and it's going to be a simple drag and drop document checklist here. On the form side, what you can see is we're not sending them PDFs, right? We're not sending them Word documents. I don't want to have to send them stuff. They have to figure out how to open it, where to save it, et cetera, et cetera. Instead, there's these live online forms that they can just start working on and filling out. Now, again, you can ignore the stuff at the top, right? Style of cause, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to move that to the top here so that you or they can fill it at once and it's set for the matter. What's important here is they can go from form to form and start filling out important questions so that you can gather information. And then obviously number 2 here on the right, you might notice we have an AI assistant. And so this is pretty cool because it can do one of 2 things for the time being. Number 1 is you can just converse with it, right? So for example, maybe your client is working through the form and they get to a certain question and they're not sure what it says, right? So blah, blah, blah. I don't understand what this means, right? Divorced before, so they can just click this button and you can say, what does this mean? Or you can really type anything, right? What I'm trying to show you here is you have a little chat on the right where you can just click on a question and it's going to start telling you this information, filling out this information, complete family history to understand, blah, blah, blah. The respondent would typically answer yes or no, blah, 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 right? So again, just like you can have a conversation back and forth, maybe that's a bad example because it's a pretty simple question to be asking about, right? But for example, have you been in a court case before? Maybe they want to click this and say, how do I know if I've been in a court case before, right? And again, the AI is going to answer that question to hopefully help your client answer as many of these questions as humanly possible without having to go back and forth with you, right? So that's kind of one of the key takeaways there. So you can see here, To determine if you or your children have been involved in a court case before, you should consider the following. And it kind of takes them through, some things to think about. Again, you can ignore some of the formatting stuff, and we're going to kind of touch up those little details. Again, like I said, we're still testing and making some of these improvements. Now, maybe most helpful, I'm going to go to a question that has more information. So again, your client can talk with the AI about any of these questions to get help. The other feature you might notice here is there's a little button here with a little pencil. And what this allows them to do is when there's an answer that is text-based, they can ask the AI to rewrite it. So maybe I log in, it says set out below the facts that form the legal basis. And again, I'm your client, I'm not a legal expert, Well, I separated from my husband, and I'm going to spell it wrong, in Sept 2025. We had 2 kids together, and now, and he kicked me out of the house that we owned together, and now I don't know what to do, and I think he owes me alimony, right? Again, I'm just like typing, no periods, nothing like that. And let's just say I do, and as we know, right, as family lawyers, we know that you can have this ongoing for pages and pages, right, if they continue to just word vomit like that. And so now I'm just going to click rewrite. Now you can do this. Your client can also do this, right? So they can word vomit and then click, oh, you know what? Well, I don't want to send this to my lawyer. And you'll see here, the AI will rewrite the text. It'll show it to you. I separated from my husband on 2025-09-01. We have 2 children together. He subsequently removed me from the house that we jointly own. Currently, I'm uncertain about my next steps, and I believe he may owe me alimony. Would you like to use this rewritten text? And then again, I can choose, do I keep the original or do I use it? And I click keep, and it actually changes the answer here to, better quality, properly spelled and grammar. So again, want to show you what we have so far. This is, as you can see, coming along quite well. We still have a few little improvements to make, a few adjustments to make, a few features to add, a few things to touch up on the AI. But this is kind of where we're going for step 1, which is make it really quick and easy to select, hey, here's what I need for this file. Here's the forms I need filled out. Here's the information. Here's the documents. And now, hey, client, you work with my AI and send me a really good version of it as quickly as possible. And then from there, obviously, we're going to be adding stuff to handle the rest. So that's it for what I wanted to show you today. Again, putting some touches on it, doing some more testing, working with our developers who are working hard to finalize this stuff. If you have any thoughts or questions or any feedback on what you're seeing, again, keep in mind, this is not all completed, right? Like, for example, we won't have the signatures at the bottom here, right? We're probably just going to put that as like a PDF e-sign feature type thing. So this is not the final version, but I did want to show you the stuff that we have. This is all live and being worked on as we speak. So hopefully in the coming weeks, we'll have something ready to roll. Anyways, thanks again for watching. Like I said, if you have any comments, feedback, questions, please feel free to let me know. And as well, if you have a colleague, a friend, another family law lawyer who you think might be interested in following along and eventually using something like this, please send them a link. It really helps to just kind of spread the word, and I'll include a link where they can sign up to the email list as well in the description on YouTube. So if you are able to share this with even 1 or 2 colleagues and they're like, oh, this looks kind of cool, maybe I'll follow along on the journey. Again, there's no commitment to sign up for anything. You're just following along on our journey and seeing where it goes. Then please feel free. The link to join our email list so you get every video in the future will be in the description below on YouTube. Anyways, thank you again for watching. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.